Hey everyone, I am so tired. Sorry for being late there. I was just having my dinner. I'm absolutely exhausted. I can barely. Well, I'm glad I'm seated because my back was about to give out. Frankly, what I was doing today. Yeah, it's high tired. No. What I was doing today was essentially lots of. Well, I suppose the American viewers would call it yard work. It wasn't really gardening, even though we don't have yards. It wasn't really gardening in the sense of tending to plants. What I was instead doing was lots of maintenance-related tasks in my garden, which required quite a lot of physical activity. So I've been on my feet and working for hours, and I'm just absolutely exhausted. Yeah, let me show you what I was doing. So, where is it? Hang on a minute. This is a dog. She's she's flopped as well. She's back from her walkies. She got lots of attention. People giving her like a little head rubs in her pram. But yeah, landscaping, I suppose. Anyway, so what happened was in my garden, I've got these brick planters. They're vegetable plots, raised vegetable plots, and in them I'm growing chard and cabbages and onions, which aren't doing very well, cucumbers, which are doing amazingly, and potatoes. And the planters were built probably March of this year, I want to say, round about then. I was worried about whether or not I can get them built in time for the growing season, but it all worked out well. And I bought in some contractors, some landscapers to do it. They were quite expensive, but they had like an 8-man team, and over the course of like 2 to 3 days, they built these lovely brick planters for me, and I was very happy. Anyway, I'm less happy now, because I discovered that there was one corner. So all of it's growing lovely, but there was one corner of these planters where nothing was growing. I put in some raspberry cuttings, and they just weren't growing. They just died off immediately. I blamed the foxes, because a couple of them got chewed up, so I figured, okay, well the foxes were probably chewing on them, that's why. Then, I tried to grow some radishes and also some unidentified plant that's apparently a bit of a magnet for slugs, in the hopes that the slugs would eat this plant and stay the fuck away from my cabbages. They didn't grow. They just didn't grow. Thank you for saying so, Warwolf. And thank you, Avacchio Duck and Jadis. Thank you. Anyway, so I went on a bit of an investigation. I told this story this morning to try and determine what the fuck is going on, and it didn't really take much. I started poking the soil a little bit deeper than I would typically if I were just sowing seeds, and I discovered that the fork was hitting something solid, something dead solid. I kind of suspected that, well, maybe there was like a cement bag or something. You know, sometimes things get buried if you're messy. I mean, it's totally understandable. That's not what I found. This is what I found. I found that the landscapers had poured the contents of their now no longer needed cement mixers, or rather the cement that they didn't need, into a hole and then buried it. So the whole thing just solidified over the weeks into essentially only a few inches down, as you can see, a slab of cement. And so, obviously, I'm not happy, because they knew that these were, obviously if this were like some conservatory, some foundations or whatever, who would give a shit? But this is a vegetable plot. This is literally what I wanted them to build, a vegetable plot, and they just poured all of their cement into this side. So my job today, there's another shot of it. My job today was to basically get that the fuck out of there and then replace it with actual soil and actual compost. And my God, it was... just after this morning's stream, literally about 5 minutes after closing the stream, my mum's boyfriend popped round and very kindly dropped off a pickaxe for me. So I had a great big metal pickaxe, and I was able to start swinging a pickaxe, wearing safety glasses and all that, and trying to take all the necessary precautions, just to try and get this fucking thing out. Now, mercifully, it was... so it was wide, but it wasn't very thick. So they basically poured the cement in, and it is spread out for probably around, say, 5 or 6 inches in thickness throughout the soil. So I was able to make some cracks in it and then start lifting it up, prying it up. There was also this large tree root. I'm not even sure where it came from, because there was a tree there, but it was much deeper than that. So these are raised beds that have been built on top of a former like ground level bed. Anyway, so I just discovered that there was this huge bit of concrete, this huge slab of concrete. Anyway, sorry, concrete, cement. It's the mortar. It's the mortar mix for the brickwork. I'm probably using the wrong terms. Anyway, so as I lifted it up, everyone, so this was like a good, it was fairly warm. I had my Lawrence of Arabia get up, so I had like my a white pillowcase wrapped around my head, being held on by a fishing hat. I look kind of ridiculous. Accidentally captured a city off the Ottomans on my break. It happens. But I was in my Lawrence of Arabia get-up, just trying to keep the sun off me. And I was sweating like a pig, I really was. And I finally lifted this thing out. Like, it went full-on, like, man noises, like, and sort of lifted it up and put it on the ground. Anyway, underneath it, I found this. Hang on, this is another shot. Look at this. So, underneath, the cement bags that I mentioned, on a sort of layer of them, and then underneath that, bricks and rubbish, including some Coca-Cola cans that I provided. I gave them snacks and stuff, and despite literally walking past my recycling bin, they just threw it into my vegetable plot, because fuck it. And just covered it up with what is essentially a tarp, and some brick, and again, this isn't like the foundation. We're not like several feet down where I'll never dig it up. Like, did they really expect me not to dig in a vegetable plot? This is a few inches in. Fucking, yeah, shocking, absolutely shocking. It's not even like, if it was like bits of wood or whatever, I wouldn't matter. Wood degrades aplenty, would be fine. But Coke cans, fucking, Oros says, speaking of being a few inches in. No, Oros. Yeah, so obviously, that's fucking bit of a piss take, frankly. Bit of a fucking piss take. I did leave a positive review. I wonder if I can modify the review with these pictures and sort of go, fuck off. Yeah, that's really not on. That's very, very not on. Anyway, so where's the next picture? So after a bit of work, as you can see, this is what I eventually pulled out of this corner. And this is just this corner. This is just this corner here. So, like, bits of wood and that bit at the top next to the stool. That's the big chunk of it, you see, that I pulled out with bricks that are all sort of stuck in underneath. Yeah, awful, just awful stuff. So I was ripping all this out and lifting it all out. A stool sample there. That's actually my that's like a stool that you use for like car mechanic shit, isn't it? But I actually use that for stargazing. It's on little wheels, so it can go around quickly, and I can go up and down to look through my telescope. So, and then I just sort of put it all the way to the bottom and lift it in my car. Anyway, so sorry for those joining. This is the shit that the landscapers that I ordered decided to just bury in my vegetable plot. That which I've found so far, frankly. So yeah, piss take, really big piss take. Anyway, so the good news is, after a lot of digging and a lot of exertion today, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired, folks. Apologies if I flag. I was able to get all the soil replaced. I also took a moment, so I should have taken a few more pictures. Sorry. So I basically put in some nice compost. I had this big bag of compost. I had like a buy two get one free or something, so I had the free one in the shed, and I poured it all in. I mixed it in with the soil, and now it's all lovely, and it's all soft and lovely and full of compost. And then put the topsoil back on, and then what I did in the top left corner, where the shadow of my hand is, I dug like a little pit there, and I went over and I carefully picked up in its pot, and doing wonderfully, a raspberry bush that I'm growing. So I put down a raspberry bush, and then I gave it lots and lots of water, so it's got some nice compost and soil and a lovely sunny spot. So yeah, I'm hoping we can have some raspberries growing if the fucking squirrels don't steal them. Bucket hat? No, that's my Lawrence of Arabia get up. So I've got like my fishing hat, and then behind it I've got like a pillowcase that I've stuffed under the hat, so it's going down my neck. Yeah, Lord of Rawn. It was just warm. Well, it wasn't that warm today in the UK. It had a very stiff breeze coming in, but yeah, it was sunny. It was very sunny. Am I already talking to my plants? No, I'm mostly just cursing and saying fucking landscapers, fucking Lawrence of Hove. Was he from Hove? Who am I thinking of? Who's the famous guy from Hove? Hang on. Famous. Was there a famous actor from Hove? Actors. Fatboy Slim. Okay. Hang on a second. The AI, the Google's AI, has gone, oh yes, famous people from Hove. So Jonathan Bailey is an actor, I think. Superstar DJ Fatboy Slim. Then it says the Page 3 model Katie Price is also in Hove. And then it says, and SovietWomble, a popular gaming YouTuber and Twitch streamer, was born and raised there. Good to see that they've put them in a lovely order there. Not really in order. I should be higher up, to be honest. I'm below Katie Price. Fuck off. Anyway, right, Kerbal. Let's do some Kerbal. Let's play some Kerbal. Hang on a minute. Right. Starting game. I'm very tired. I'll do my best this evening, folks, but I'm so fucking sleepy. Soup says, what about my back surgery? Who's Katie Price? In the UK, we have I don't know if it still exists, a newspaper called The Sun, and on Page 3 they would run topless pictures of models, and she was one of their prominent ones. And then she did a whole bunch of like reality television stuff like Big Brother and what was it, like Celebrity Get Me Out of Here and other sort of, fucking Survivor Island bullshit. And then I think she married someone, what was his name again? He was like a singer who was famous in the 90s. I can't remember his name. Something. Anyway, but then, yeah, so in and out the tabloids, like tabloid fodder. Peter Andre, that's the one. Tip of my tongue. Right. Okay, oh, sorry, I fucked something up. I've closed that folder. Right. Thank you, Nadir. Thank you very much, Nadir. There we go. Stream Deck. Nope, doesn't work. Yep, there we go. Kerbal and hammock. I love this piece of art. BB Dingo made it. It's a recreation of this shot. So Lulu jumped in a hammock with me, you see, because I got a hammock for my birthday, and so she did this. She hopped in. That's her head empty, only hammock face. And she sat between my legs, and I sort of rocked back and forth in the breeze, and she just looked so happy. So I just snapped a picture of her looking happy. And of course, Bibu made that. So it's very kind of her. Hammock. Yeah. Right. Oh, hang on. Just get some music as well. Right. Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Sorry. Hang on. Right. Whew. Okay. So, I'm just going to relax with a bit of Kerbal Space Program. This morning, we were able to... you did nothing. I successfully landed a space plane and took off again on the Jupiter, the Jovian, or the Julvian, I suppose, moon of Laythe, which is all the way over here. The gas giant of Joule is gigantic, and its gravity well, you can't fucking miss it. So it's fairly easy to send things up there, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass getting around because it's like a solar system in miniature. And Laythe over here is an atmosphere. It's a water world which I've never really encountered before. And we successfully landed the plane and took off again. Some design issues though. The Shuttlecock Mk1 definitely has some improvements. We're pretty much out of fuel now, so getting around is going to be tricky. So sending a refueler for them is we're going to have to send a refueler for them. When's the next transfer? Well, I can probably zoom out and guess. Hang on. So, if we double click on Kerbal, the star, Kerbin is currently here. So... it looks like we're going to wait a while. It should be roughly here, I believe, Joule for the transfer window, so we could be waiting a little bit. Right. Reindeer was looking around the closet this weekend, and you found so many Lulu puppy moments where I was still training her. Oh, yeah? I must admit, it's a bit of a shame that I didn't have her when she was the stream camera on her when she was a tiny puppy. I didn't really think of it. I didn't have a stream camera at all, so I didn't really think to just put it on her. But yeah, glad I got one in the end. Thank you, Back Potat. Thank you very much, Back. And thank you, Nadir, and Fake Zeus, and the Muggy One, and Marur, and Dervish. Thank you, all of you. Okay, let's create an alarm. So, planetary transfer window between Kerbin and Joule is when? 173 days. Not too long. Okay. I still have so much wonderful footage of her, yeah. Hopefully she's had a lovely life. Okay. Right. I got a comment this afternoon. I went into a newsagent's, like a shop, and I was buying some blackcurrant squash and some Dr. Pepper. And the lady behind the counter said that she was driving a car that morning, and she saw me. And she, in her words, these are her words, she said, "You are so cool." So I'm like, thank you. She was referring to the fact that I was like, I was taking care of my baby. I was taking care of Lulu, because Lulu looked so happy. But that's a quote. There, I've got a quote. I'm so cool. Yes, paid actor. Yes. But no, she said she was driving past me. She was off to go pick up her daughter from school or something, and she saw me pushing Lulu in the pram. And Lulu looked so happy, and obviously I was trying to keep Lulu as comfortable as possible. Right. Okay, so 1 second, before we do anything here, so we have to send let me just come back to the space plane hangar. Since the landing and the takeoff is so fresh, I wonder if I can modify the shuttlecock to be a little bit better. Alright, hang on. Was she missing her glasses? I hope not. She was behind the wheel of her car. Okay. Right, shuttle. The Shuttlecock Mk1. Okay, looks like there have been more versions than I thought. The Shuttlecock Mk2.1. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks like it. Oh yeah, obviously we've got the look at these. What are these? Ah. Interesting. These are the modifications that I was literally about to make. I must have quietly been modifying it but never launched it. That's good. Okay. So yes, Twitch. So yeah, the modification that I wanted to look at is the fact that when we launch it upwards, and essentially, I'm having trouble doing a vertical landing. So I've discovered that landing on its bum is fine, but as you've been watching me do, I'm having to awkwardly flip it forward and then just hope that the landing legs can catch us safely. Oh, look at her. So maybe I should put like some small engines on the front to slow down the descent so we don't smack it as early. Yeah. Yeah. Also, this room right now is a tip because, hang on, can I show? Yeah. So the room that we're in is a tip right now because I've been spending a part of this afternoon when I was on a break from the garden work basically taking all of the cardboard boxes and a sort of packing knife and slicing them into little bits so the floor is covered in cardboard flecks. Yeah, just doing some cleaning and maintenance and stuff around the place. So, yeah. Lots of cleaning to do, that's for sure. Thank you, Kuko, and Soggy Ramen, and Bak Patat, and Nadir. Right. Okay, so let's have a look at my changes that I was trying to make then. Yes, so this one doesn't have the scanner arm. Maybe we should add it somewhere. Then again, it doesn't necessarily need to be that close, does it? I mean, the problem is it's not very aerodynamic. We can just pack it, can't we? The Twitch liquid fuel engine. Where's its staging? Does it show here? It does. Its current thruster weight is 0.27, but what about on Laythe? Right. Laythe sea level 0.35, so certainly not enough to lift the craft, but that's not its objective. I just need it to slow us down a bit so we don't smack the ground as you know, with that much force. Thank you, Husker. That's very kind of you, Huskers. Right. 25 months and still waiting for the next bullshittery? Yes. Oh, wait. Hang on. Can I move them in a smidge? And do they have an alternate... Hang on. Variant? No, they do. Just colour. They move them in a smidge, as smidgy as we can. Right. I mean, hell, do we even need, like... can't we just put down... What about an inline vector? Hang on. Engines, command... We can test them. Payload... Where is it? Sorry. Robotics, engines, fuel tanks. What am I looking for? Command... Yeah, here they are. The Verners, not vectors. So the Werner requires oxidizer. Okay. What's the total... Hang on. So in vacuum, so thruster power 12, ISP. So ISP 140 in atmosphere and 260 in vac. Okay. So 260... So, sorry, 140. And what about these? These give me... 275 in atmosphere. Okay, so these are way better. Regardless, we'll give it a test. Swap them out. I'm just thinking about aerodynamics, really, because obviously it's a space plane. We need to be able to take off and move quickly. Hang on. Wonder, do we have a test pilot? Engineer, Matballs. We don't have a test pilot. We might have to get one. Hang on. Command and control. So Werner engines. So what if I put a couple of them? No, they're not in line. We can fix that. Put a couple of Werners here and here. Alright. Right, there we go. And put them as in line as we can. Right. Okay. And maybe just squidge them up a little bit. Stop it. Squidge them a little bit. So yeah, essentially, rather than have great big heavy landing whatsits, what are these? For some reason I put those there. Oh, I see. Was I testing VTOL? I think I was, wasn't I? Yeah, that must be what I was trying to do. Okay, we don't need to if we land on our bum. Okay. I see, and these are to try and land on our wheels. Ah, I see what my logic was. Right. Yeah, those were downwards facing landing engines so I could land land on the wheels. Would I play Stormworks again? Yeah, probably. Golden TNT. Okay, let's take them away. The goal is to try and land on the bum. Okay. Now, the next thing that I'm thinking of is getting a little bit of extra fuel for that, well, in general, to get around the place, because we just don't have the Delta V once we're back in orbit. The oxidizers were enough to get us in orbit from Laythe, but not enough Delta V to go anywhere useful. So, let me just save it. Call it the, oh look, attempting modified downwares engines with high thruster weight. MK3. Shuttlecock MK3. Thank you, Ramboss. Thank you very much there, Ramboss. So we've got an inline clampertron for future docking. We don't want it too tall, that's the trouble. I want to give it more fuel, but I don't want it to be too tall. MK1 liquid fuel fuselage. What else do I have? Monopropellant tanks. Is there something thicker that I could put there instead? Liquid fuel 400. 400. And that's got oxidizer too. There you go, thicker profile for atmospheric flight. Hang on. Is there an equivalent? So the FX TX900. FX. No? No? Didn't like that. Hang on. Just sort by name. Oh, go advanced. Hang on, advanced mode. Manufacturer. No, not as helpful as I wanted. Cross-section profile? What is that, sorry? Smaller. Oh, I see. Those are space plane specific, aren't they? That's oxidizer 2. Silver says, why not design a bigger space plane in general? Could do. Could do. I wanted something small and zippy. Golden TNT, you heard me talking about security cameras and NVRs. Did that ever conclude? Yes. I've successfully set up a rather extensive security camera system around this bungalow. Initially, it was just going to be one camera, or two cameras, but I kind of went a little bit overboard. Now, I have 4 security cameras, night vision capable, with motion detection and character recognition, so like people recognition, on pretty much all 4 corners of the bungalow, along with CCTV warning signs and, yeah. I got a little bit overboard. The reason for that is that I wanted to make sure that when I go out fishing, and I'm like, oh hey guys, I'm going fishing, I've got the peace of mind that if a squirrel farts on my bungalow, I'm like, I see you. Got a phone notification. Thank you, Nazvery. Thank you very much, Naz. Any automated turrets? No. Maybe a few punji sticks here and there. Thank you, Sushi Sorrow. That's very kind. Thank you for the tier 2. Thank you, Sushi. Thank you, thank you. Okay, not too big. Size 1.5. How big is 1.5? Let's stick it. Fuck. Controls are weird. Move the ramjet. How big are we talking? No? Doesn't want to snap on? Okay, it's too big. Size 1. That looks like it is size 1. Yeah. Okay, so 1.5. So is there anything thicker? So liquid fuel. And is that oxidizer 2? Yeah. Is there a way to just sort just by liquid fuel? Thank you, Golden TNT, and thank you all of you. Yes, holy shit! I'm so extremely grateful. Yeah, all of you have been kind enough to let me have the bungalow. Essentially, Lulu's loving it. She's loving the bungalow. Yeah. Thank you, Coated Nose, for your kindness as well. Thank you, Coated. All right. Okay, so I was sort of looking for a thicker version of that, but liquid fuel only. MK1 liquid fuel fuselage. Is there an MK2? Yes, MK2 liquid fuel fuselage. And what sort of difference are we talking about here? So 400 liquid fuel. Oh. 400 liquid fuel. I see. So it's the same liquid fuel, it's just wider. Bit rubbish. Okay. It's no longer sort by... What am I looking for? Wasn't there a huge one, I seem to remember? What was the really huge one? Oh, was that the short version? Rocket fuel fuselage. There. MK2 liquid fuel fuselage. 800, doubling it. Okay. So can I put 2 of these instead? So let's carefully remove the wings. And then what if we were to build... Where's symmetry mode? It's been a while. What if we were to build larger? Go a bit larger. What's the snapping command? Is it Alt? It's been a hot minute since I did any building. It is, but that doesn't work. Why? I don't know. Snap on, rotate. There we go. Right. Snapping mode, toggle snap. Hang on. There we go. Thank you. Right. Yeah, so what if we went a bit larger? So doubling the amount of liquid fuel. Okay. So, hang on. So liquid fuel fuselage. Do I have 2 of them, though? Okay, technically I already had 2 small ones side by side, giving me 800. So what I've really done is it's the same amount of liquid fuel. So we'd have, yeah, we'd need to add a new one, but that wouldn't be a problem. We'd just add a new one. Hang on, what if we really went big? What if we... Hang on. That's rocket fuel. Liquid fuel. What if we put 2 of them? Maybe we're going too far. Is there a weight difference? Oh yeah, naturally. It's going to be very, very heavy. Hang on. Okay, but it's doubling the amount of liquid fuel. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much there, Shannon. Right, so hang on, what else? What is actually here? So obviously the gears, the brakes, the rapier engines, which we can mount there now. Well, yeah. Alright. So what if... Put these here. Obviously we'd have to test it on curbing. Move the rapiers here. Do the landing legs even reach far enough to avoid damaging the rapiers? I have a feeling the answer might be no. So place these on the rapiers themselves. Make sure they're equal-ish. Oh yeah, I've actually been, you might laugh, I've actually been watching that, you know I was telling you the tale of that anime abridged series on YouTube called Sword Art Online, and apparently how the abridged series, that's to say the comedy version, by taking the anime and fucking with it, apparently it's a better show than the anime itself, owing to the fact that they fix a whole bunch of character problems in the edit. Anyway, so I went down the rabbit hole of actually watching it. It's fucking funny. I'm really I'm quite enjoying it. It's like it's clever comedy. It's like a girl's in trouble. Like, so what they've done is that they've basically turned the protagonist from like a whiny Japanese kid. They've turned him into an arsehole. They've made him an arsehole. And there'd be like a scene where like a girl is in trouble and she's screaming she's about to die in this MMO where if you die for real. And then suddenly the ogre gets cut down, and behind the ogre is a man, the main character, and she looks at him, and of course through her rose-coloured glasses with rose petals around the side, he's like, "Do you need any assistance, my lady?" And she goes, "What?" And he goes, "Will you stop screaming, you loud bitch? Jesus Christ, ah!" Hard cut straight to him, because she's screaming annoying, like she's being really, really annoying. They've just turned him into a prick, an unlikable prick. And it's great. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Hang on a minute. Snap this way. Right. There we go. Yeah, it ironically makes him more likable because he becomes human. Because he's such a dick. Okay, don't forget the oxidizer. We need the oxidizer. We might need a bit more oxidizer now. No, I haven't, Angry Fraggle. Right, obviously we need to mess with our centre of mass and our centre of lift calculations. Ragathene says, I don't know if I call the abridged version better on its own, but they do show what the anime skips, so together they're definitely better. Yeah? Hang on. Get these landing legs underneath it. Alright. Trouble is we don't have a pilot to take it for a test drive. We do have a drone core unit. And we should probably put down some struts for the stability. Alright. Right, so what's this? So liquid fuel. Okay, take this oxidizer. How much oxidizer? Okay, so about 110 a piece. Get rid of this. Alright, so oxidizer, 110. Right. Oh, really, Cyborg? I don't know what most of that is, though, but enjoy. Okay. What am I looking for? Fuel tanks. Need little itty bitty ones, frankly. So that's got oxidizer in it already. That's big. So we're on fuel tanks. Mass. Turn it to mass. Those are... Oh, hello. Hang on. Can I get these full of... I can. So drain those entirely. Move these here. And on these... Yeah, these nose cones instead. And then have the ramjets. And then have these just oxidizer. Okay. Yeah, we'll give that a test. Hang on, while we're here, I do have a slight problem in that these guys can't easily get out because there's no secondary door. Hi there, J. Griff. Welcome indeed. Is there a... Sorry, question. Is there a, like... I want to let them EVA. Is there a door that I can add? Because obviously I can add a Clampatron fucking docking port. But what about just a door? Anyone know? Yeah, I think so, Skilobite, but it's just a little bit annoying. A hatch. Hatch, is that what I'm looking for? Hatch. No. No sign of a hatch. Okay. Right. Mirin is a sweet fermented cooking rice wine, says Cyborg. Sake is just high alcohol version of that, and ponzu is a citrusy version of soy sauce. Interesting. Cool. I tell you, in my kitchen, Dinklebean recently was kind enough to buy me a set of mechanical scales as opposed to digital ones. And I'm very thankful, because they look very nice. I look forward to doing some proper cooking soon. I made some burritos the other day, but it wasn't really sort of measure it out material. I'm just sort of, fuck it, rice, fuck it. Meat in, done. Okay. Yes, so let's have a read of my notes. One moment. Dog. So what did so when I'm playing Kerbal Space Program, rather than just look up the guides, I'm trying to make errors and learn from them. So generally play and experience the game. You know, as in fuck up and learn from my fuck ups. So, opening up notes for Kerbal. Hang on. Kerbal notes. So what have I put about space planes? Here we go. So interplanetary learnings. Ike. Eve. Jewel. Tylo. Laythe space plane. Space planes strapped to rockets. No. Search for the words plane. Hang on. Hey, gorgeous. You alright? Yeah, she's fine. 21 mentions of the word plane. Build notes on the center of mass. When building rockets, the center of thrust, I've learnt, must be vertically in line with the center of mass. Also try to put your center of mass high up, near the middle if you're able. Your center of aero ball must be on top of the center of mass for maximum control. When building planes, the center of mass must have the center of lift directly behind it, and all must be aligned horizontally, particularly the center of thrust, else it will topple. Okay, so the center of lift must be just behind the center of mass. Okay. So, the blue thing, center of lift, okay, just behind the center of mass. Right. Is that good enough, though? And it doesn't look yeah, that's not horizontally aligned. All must be horizontally aligned. So, take these wings and da-da-da. Alright, that looks a bit better. One fucked up, weird looking plane. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we're doing here. Alright. Wouldn't it be better to put 2 front fuel tanks in the center instead of to the side? I don't know. Let's take it for a flight. Let's give it a test. The Shuttlecock Mk3. Right, so this, yeah, so we need that in order to see if we can bring the nose cone down gently with the Verners. So we've got more oxidizer, we've got more liquid fuel. Oh, hang on a minute. What is the, obviously the thruster weight? Well, I guess we'll find out when we fly on Kerbin. Right, so give it a save. Now, what sort of, oh, I guess we're going to have to fly this. Okay, Matt Balls the engineer is along for the ride. Enjoy. Here we go. Alright. You remember, darling? Yeah, she's doing her best. Okay. Bit of a long thing, isn't it? Well, it's actually no longer than the existing one. It's just thicker. Alright. So, deploy angle authority limit, let's say 10 degrees. Initiate stabilization. Mapples, what are you seeing? It's my little Duna test station over there. Alright. Here we go. Switch to air breathing mode. Engines are enabled. Yes. Now they are. Here we go. Right, so these are Rapier engines, air breathing. Air is being forced into the front shock cone intakes. More airflow means more thrust. Thank you, Pa. Thank you very much there, Pa. So the previous plane started to have its nose lift up at around, say, 100 meters per second. 80. Try to lift the nose now. 89, 90. This implies that perhaps we need more wing surface? Yes. Increase the authority on the flaps. Well, we're going. But that's quite some speed that we needed there. Up the gears. Are these cannons even moving? Pitch is active. Very good. Need to pick up some speed here. Let's start a roll. Roll works. Okay. Start turning. Yeah, I think we need more lift surfaces, frankly, especially when we consider that the atmosphere isn't quite as dense on Laythe. Still, we're airborne and I do have control. turn it around. Back wheels are probably too far back. Yeah, you're probably right. Move those, shimmy those forward as well. Oops. Mabbles, how you feeling? I see fish. Right. Back to the hangar. Whoops. Right. Yeah, let's move those back wheels further. Yeah, move these forward so we can lift the nose. Yep. Whoop. No, not the whole plane forward. Just the back wheels, please. Whoop. There we go. Move those there. Okay, but I think some more lift surfaces couldn't hurt, maybe. So, aerodynamics. Whoop. Yeah. Bit too much. Right. Size. Alright. For those passing through the stream, please know that I'm not currently working on a bullshittery. I'm taking some days off, having finished the last one. What is that, sorry? Oh my god, is that a adjustable ramp intake? Is that air intake? What, for the ramjets? Is it? Give that a go, maybe. See if that makes a difference in the thrust. Okay. So surfaces. Hang on. Wing connector. It's gonna look a bit goofy, but yeah, look goofy indeed. But just give it a welly. We're experimenting. Let's experiment. Right. What if we shimmied these in a smidge, right? Right, like that. Just additional lift surfaces. Now, oops. What have I done here? Ah! Don't know how I fucked it, but I fucked it. There we go. Right, so that's the centre of mass. Is the next bullshittery my choice or the viewer's choice? It's the viewer's choice. So if you're a Twitch subscriber or a patron, I'll put up some polls and you guys can vote and tell me what you think. What you want me to do. Okay, so that's centre... Right, so it's too far forward. So ease up on... Yeah, take away one of them, maybe. Right. Take away one? Is there another itty-bitty one? Two? No, have it as it was. Right. Okay, let's give that a welly. See what it does. In fact, move these back just a smidge. Yeah, move them back just a smidge. Like there, maybe. Right. Weird. Shuttlecock MK3. Give it a save. Oh, thank you, Harry Llama, for the tier 3. That's extremely kind of you, Harry. For 58 months now. Thank you very much, Harry. And thank you, Pa and Shannon and Waterboy and Coated Nose. And my chair's falling down. Hang on. Oh, fuck. Thank you again, Harry Llama. Thank you. Right. Zappa says, make sure the wheels are not too far forward of the centre of mass or it will flip when you spawn. You reckon? Okay. We'll shimmy them back a smidge. Pretty much on the centre of mass. Okay. Right, give it a save and then take it to launch. But yeah, so today, as mentioned, I was doing lots of yard work, I guess. So gardening, but oh yeah, you're right. Gardening, but not necessarily with plants. I was swinging a pickaxe and oh, hang on, let me just do something quick. Go. How far do they go? Yep, they should protect all the engines on a landing. Alright. Damn it, I can't retract them now. Have to do them individually. Hang on. So I was using a pickaxe to chop out a piece of cement that was in a vegetable plot. It's a bit of a nightmare. I was also applying decking oil to many wooden fixtures around my garden. So brushing, sort of pouring oil onto the wood. And the timbers that I was sort of pouring the oil onto were really thirsty. Like I would put down some decking oil on like a railway sleeper that formed part of like a
I suppose like imagine a retaining wall, like different levels of the garden, but it's made out of wooden railway sleepers. Anyway, so I put down some oil in it so it would go straight into it, just completely absorbed. Desperate they were for a bit of oil. Thank you, Major Oster, for the host there. Right, let's go. Are we on air breathing mode? We are. Okay, so flow. How are we doing? Right. Thank you, Army Barmy. Thank you very much there, Army. It's very kind of you. Okay, so 60 meters per second. Let's see when the nose lifts. 70. Oh, much earlier this time. Lovely. Up we go. Smooth. Alright. Let it pick up a bit of speed. Gears up. Alright. Pretty smooth. Right. Stand by, the next phase of testing. Pick up some speed. Alright, so, with the ramjets, the more air that we shove into these intakes here, the more thrust will generate. So the thrust is gradually going up. Yeah, gaining speed like a snail, yeah. The nose. Right. Should be good enough for the turn. Ooh. With a roll. Thank you, Yoshino Kuro. Thank you very much, Yoshino. Bleeding speed on the turn. Right, here we go. So the next test is going to be trying to replicate a landing. Those Verners are switched on. Excellent. Here we go. So let's pretend for a moment that da-de-da, we're a space plane on Laythe doing our space plane thing. Yeah, it's quite nose heavy, isn't it? It does feel it. Maybe I should move the canards forward a smidge. Or maybe move the center of lift further back. Maybe more on the center of mass. We'll give it a test. Here we go. So, da-da-da, here we go. You predict explosion? Yeah. Let's see if the buttons are still in. Oh, shit, no, I moved them. We're fine. Here we go. So we're coming in for a landing, and cut engines, initiate drogues. Shit, hotkey's not working. Initiate drogue shoot. Drogue shoot deployed. Very good. Initiate main shoot. Fuck, the hotkey's not working. Deploy shoot. Deploy shoot. Gears down. Flip! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Shit! Oof. Okay. Guess who forgot to set the hotkeys? Right. Gotta get that fixed then. Hotkeys 1 and 2 need to get assigned. Revert flight back to the space plane hangar. So the idea there, to explain, drogues will slow us down, enough for the main shoots to kick in. We then start landing bum first, land on these so all engines are safe, and then use the Verners to give us a quick puff down to the ground. I suppose we should... Hang on, thinking about it. Why don't I... We'll see what it... Hang on, see how it behaves naturally to start with. Hang on. So another test. So first test is I'm just going to... Where's my center of lift? There's my center of lift. What if I, just for the minute, moved it forward? What happens to my control? So back where it was before, right? Move it there. Right. Okay. Did I use the air brakes? No, I totally forgot to use the air brakes. Right. The drogues will probably do enough. Anyway, so go to my group. Where's my group selection? So actions, and then go to, not axis, so stage groups, drogues. So custom action 1. What? Struts, extend? What struts? The landing struts. Oh, they're on 1, are they? No, don't do that. Right, Custom action 1. Drogues, deploy. Okay. Are both of them already set? Okay, custom action 2. Oh, rate... What? They were? Oh, no, hang on. Oh, fuck, I was just hitting the wrong buttons. So they are assigned. I'm just stupid. Okay, they were perfectly assigned. I'm just dumb. Right, deploy these. Radial mounted. Custom action 3. Which ones are these? Yeah, okay, I'm just stupid. Right. Thank you, Rager Gager 19. Thank you, Rager. Okay, give it a save. Go to launch. Right. Thank you, player, and Beta Spirit Plays Games, and Yoshino. Thank you for your kindness, everyone. Initiate engines. Off we go. For those joining, I'm testing a slightly heavier space plane. We successfully landed a space plane and took off again from Laythe, which is one of the Julian moons. So one of the moons of Jule. But when we got into space, we're a bit low on fuel. So I'm thinking, if I'm sending a refueler, I may as well send an upgrade, like an upgraded shuttle. I'm thinking of giving them more fuel, more lift surfaces. Whoa! Okay, we might need those. We might need those. Thank you, Burzin. Thank you very much there, Burzin. Right, that's a bit of a pickle. Nope. Shit. Stop it. Back a bit more. Right. Launch. Will that be enough? Silver says the space plane I designed for an SSTO, so a single stage to orbit, so a space plane, on Laythe, weighs about 450 tons. I might have over-engineered it, says Silver. Nah, I'm sure it's fine. Alright, here we go. Okay, more speed before we lift the nose. But no, I hope everyone's well. Hang on. It's not lifting. Because the wheels are too far back. It's not lifting. Oh, we're fine. Okay. Alright, gears up. Come around again. Get some altitude this time. Oh, I'm going to fucking lose too much speed and crash. No, we're fine. We're fine. So here we are, da-da-da, we're on Laythe, coming in for our landing. Everything's hunky-dory. Pick up a bit of speed. What's that line? You seen that? Up we go. Right, here we go. So cut the engines, initiate the drogues. Drogues, initiate the drogues. Okay, never mind, initiate the main chutes. Here we go, main chutes deployed. Down landing gear. So pretend that we're coming in for a landing. We need to make sure that, yeah, we land. Yeah, so we, hang on, stand by. Get ready to initiate. Wheels are down. Right. Go closed circuit. Slow us down. Slow us down. Boop. Okay, cut engines. RCS on. Okay, so at this point that I retract just these legs. Here we go. Slow us down, baby. Slow us down. Oof. I mean, we're intact. Bit of an oof, but we're intact. And we don't have huge legs on the front. A Ryanair landing. It worked. Don't count on it holding a second time. Yeah. Yep. We're full of fuel and we've got lots of, gravity from curbing. I think it might be alright. What if I literally put a parachute at the back? Would that help? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Iron Curtain. Would that help? Let's give that a modification. Okay, so wheels further forward again. Where's my center of lift? Center of lift is there. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Stop it. Right. What have I done? Nope, stop it. Right, slap that on. Right. Show me my center of lift. There it is. Center of mass. There it is. Okay, move the wheels further forward then. There. Yeah, my ability to lift it. There's a gap in the middle after I move the wheel. Yeah, it's fine. Should be fine. Okay, so what if I put a wee parachute here? Would it help? A big one. There and only there. Hi there, Chinny. Hope you're well. Let's give that a welly, see how it flies. Good point, Regathian, as in drop its fuel for the sake of replicating how it will land when it gets to Laythe. Alright. Chinny says, I am not well, I am a man. I see. Oh, not a well. I see. Hotkey at first. Ah, fuck. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Hi there, Birdie. Birdie, I will repeat to the audience what I said to you. Early this afternoon, I was doing dishes in the kitchen, and from my office with my computer sitting there, I heard bloop, 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 Steam notifications. And I realized, I turned to myself and I literally said to myself, that must be Birdie. For no one else who contacts me stops to pretty much put every individual, like, tiny, like, say, 3 words as its own Steam message. Only Birdie does that. Who contacts me, okay, Grandpa. Yes. Nope, I can tell it's you just by the number. There we go. Blip. Yeah, fucking there we go. Blip, blip, blip. For if it's blip, blip, blip all the time, then it's Birdie. If it's say big blocks periodically, then it's probably Cyanide, maybe Edberg, sometimes Social. And if it's completely non-existent, then it's my dad. Right. Let's pull over over the space center. Not landing on water. Right. Thank you, Nasha Daly and Burzen. Birdie says, that's so funny. When I talk to your dad, he replies in full sentences. Birdie, you have no idea how close you are to the truth. Right. Cut engines. Initiate drogues, or whatever parachute, really, because we're slow enough. Lower gears. Whee! Ooh, blimey. Okay. Alright. Lulu's flopped around. Yeah, Lulu's doing her best. She's getting lots of like looks from people who are like, "Aw," when they see her in her pram. All right. Here we go. Slowing us down. Switch off. Yep. For the sake of slowing us down for the landing, which we'll be able to do with the closed cycle when we get to the thing. Boop. Okay, stop now. Open that. Deploy chute. That didn't work. Minimum pressure, altitude. Do we have to be moving to do it? Okay, well here's the bit. Here's the onion. Here we go. Retract. Deploy. Okay. Well, sort of. Maybe. We didn't break again. I think it might work. I think this might work. This might be a Laythe spaceplane. Alright. Okay, I think this could work. Let's send it. Before I do, is there anything else I would like to change on it? Go back to the revert flight to the hangar. Alright. What's the gravity like on Laythe? I think it's slightly lighter. Air pressure slightly less. Hang on. Right, did I remove any RCS thrusters for the sake of docking? We still have the same monopropellant. And obviously I'll have to disable these burners in the event of a docking situation. Where is the RCS? Radially... There's one. Where's the centre of mass? There. So please shimmy them forward, more in line with the centre of mass now. For those who are not familiar with Kerbal Space Program, it is a strong recommend from me. It's very good. Birdie, you were very brave to give it a go last time, because I know how much it's not in your wheelhouse typically. But regardless, well done. But yeah, Kerbal Space Program is excellent. And I keep mentioning this, sorry, I feel like a broken record, but it's one of these games that feels like it's a must-play for all school children. Am I calling you dumb? No, I'm just saying you're adventurous. Well done in that regard. Wouldn't expected you to play a sim like that. But yeah. Well, Birdie, if you're going to say it, fine. Okay. Cool. Okay. I mean, I can't really think of any other modifications that I might want to make, really. We know that it works. Alright. At least I'm not a virgin, says Birdie. No, I'm pretty... I don't think that insult works on me, Birdie. It doesn't work on me. Thank you, Aegis Cruiser. Also, ask your mum. Thank you, Aegis Cruiser, for the 10 gift subs. And Patcher. I remember during my first kiss, I actually got like "Wait!" from like a bunch of random people in a pub. I remember that. Right. Hang on a second. Also, one time, sorry, maybe you're gonna sort of judge me for this, but one time I was walking past a pub in where was it? I think it was next to Preston, wherever in Brighton, and I was walking Lulu at the time. We were just walking the long way, and a guy from across the road in a pub started going, "Oi, geezer! Oi, geezer! Geezer!" I didn't respond. I knew he was trying to get my attention. I'm not responding to "Oi, geezer." Excuse me, sir. Hello. Pardon me. Hi. Not "Oi, geezer." Fucking hell. Of course I just kept walking. I'm not responding to that. 1 second. Just going to grab a quick beverage. Have a beverage, and Lulu has one of my socks. Right. Sam says I'm horrifically middle class. Oi, geezer! Where did he learn to fucking address people like that? Alright. Yes, she is, Almoseo. Lulu is a French bulldog, a Frenchie. She's a little stubborn sausage. Alright. Right. Okay. So, space plane. So I would like to send this off the Joule. What would be the most efficient way to do that? Well, it's a space plane, so literally flying up into space is an option. But that's boring. Let's strap the fucking thing to a rocket. It's gonna have to be a big rocket. Alright. Hang on. So I was looking at it thinking, let me just shimmy this over here. Put this slightly out of the way. So it gets deployed in space, so it doesn't really matter where you put it. Let's just stick it back here. Maybe there. Yeah. Hang on, where's the... If I open this... open. Okay, so technically we could attach it there. Be a bit awkward though, and we'll have a tail strike, so... Maybe on the underside it'd be a better idea. Why are the wings attached at an angle? Oh yeah. Good point. Hang on. It looks in alignment to me. Hang on. No, it's fine. It looks in alignment. It's probably offsetting that offset hull there. Alright. Okay, so I'm just trying to think how we're going to attach it to the rocket. Or when it gets to space, what's going to push it along. Or it could just fly. Well, am I sending it to fly on its own volition? Like, send it up and then refuel it and then send it on. Or it could do. How is it communicating with the ground? Where's its communications unit? Is it mounted inside the thing? Hang on. Inside the service bay. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, there. The antenna. Teeny weeny antenna. Of course, because it's normally flown by a pilot. But none of the... yeah, that's going to be a slight pickle. None of the pilots are here. So give it a slightly more powerful communications array. Communications array. Give it a communitron here. And then give it a larger communitron there. Just in case one breaks. Silver says, not the lifting surfaces, the structural attachment from one middle fuselage to the exterior one. Yeah, that. Yeah, it's fine. It was like that from before. Communitron poop communitron, says Birdie. Birdie, are you... Really? You're doing the online version of an Oi geezer. Will you kindly piss off, you trollop? She's not happy. Okay. What was it doing? Let's launch this thing via a rocket. I was just trying to think of the attachment points. Hi there, Alaskan. Hi there indeed. Right. Birdie says, I'm doing my nails. This is your current watch. Birdie, I'm ignoring you. I'm just going to disregard what you're saying. I'm doing spacey stuff, you see. I'm very clever. Right. So, let's just... Okay. I'm just trying to decide. Are we launching up in a rocket, or are we space planing it? Save it. Switch over to the... VAB. Okay. So, if I emptied it... Well, we need its fuel for the... Well, do we? Go to vacuum calculations. Where's my notepad? Right, what are my notes for Joule? It only needs to get to Laythe, by the by, so it just needs to go over there and hook up with the pilots who are just... yeah, it just needs to get in low orbit of Laythe. Oof. Hang on. Where's my calculator? Okay, so, currently, with those engines... Move these nerves over here, please. Give me its vacuum calculations. So stats, Kerbin. No. Altitude, vacuum. So it's currently got, on its own, full of fuel, delta V of 4,532. That's pretty fucking great. So what will it need? How far will that get it? Hang on. Let's have a look. Where are my notes? So notes on Joule. Here we go. So, according to my notes on Joule, about 5,180 delta V to get to Joule, but not to slow down. Okay, Laythe. So what was it before? It was I think it was like around was it like 200 for circularization around Joule, right? Hang on. So Joule SOI circularize, probably around 200. Can't remember how much it was to get to Laythe. Fuck. Can't remember. Okay, so 5,000 to get the Joule, but not to slow down. What is that in total, though? I'm guessing so. Sorry, pardon me. Yes, Birdie. Yes, so the Bubu Dingo made this artwork of Lulu in the hammock, my birthday hammock. This is what she looked like when she was, yeah. So she was flopped in the hammock. I was rocking back and forth in the wind, and Lulu was just enjoying herself and pulling a stupid face. So Bubu decided to make that. Yeah, she's cute. Hammock. Head empty, no thoughts, only hammock. Right, hang on. Okay. I mean, 5,000, I mean, that's, if we could just, tell you what, let's leave it with 5,000 for all of its trip around Joule. Let's just get it to Joule. So I need 3,500 for Kerbin orbit, then 900 for the escape. I can't remember how much it was to get. Hang on. 5,180 minus 900. 780. Okay, so let's plan for like 1,000 for the Joule intercept. Okay. So 1,000. So sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what I need. Plus 900 plus say 1,000. Okay. So this space plane, strap it onto a rocket that has about 5,400 delta V, which sounds like a lot, frankly. Then split that in half. Divide that. Okay, so 2,700. Right. Okay. Oh, fuck. And then what's 80 seconds of the thrust? Hang on. I'll work that out when we get to the boost. Okay. Right. So, let's take the shuttlecock. And obviously it's going to be pilotless, so make sure that there's, Matt Balls over there is not assigned to be the engineer. Right. Oh. Fuck. Birdie says I didn't look. What are you doing? What is she doing? What has Birdie linked? What have you linked? What's this link? Oh, Haddock. Wow, that's demonic. Your cat is demonic. That's cute, though. Right. Take care, Chinny. Have a good one. Take care indeed. Right, so... Anyway, so let's take this. Hold down shift, is it? There we go. Lift it up. Sorry, pardon me, I'm knackered. Proper knackered. Okay, lift it up. Okay. So let's start strapping it to a rocket. So hang on, what were my notes regarding? Or just go from its clampetron. I don't think we can we? Hang on, what were my notes regarding space planes? Might not have the energy or the brain power for this. Space plane. Okay, so space planes strapped to rockets. Okay, they're built backwards from the staging. First item of business is to build the space plane itself. Done. Then you need to get it all balanced out so it flies okay. Then you attach a tank. Check the center of mass location, both full and empty. The main... and point the main engines so it's aimed at the center of that line. Okay. Then you attach the solid rocket fuel boosters, and they need to be aligned with the center of mass when the tank is full, which is towards the shuttle side of the tank's center of mass. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So start with the tank. Attach the tank, center of mass, full and empty. Point the main engine so it's aimed at the center of that line. Okay. Right. But how did I attach it to the space plane before? Oh, I just with the regular old detaching things. Okay. So, start retracted. There we go. Okay, the tanks. Right. Fuck. Engines, we're in advanced mode. Go back to simple mode. Fuel tanks. Okay. So that's a big old thing. Do we start on a Kerberdyne? May as well. I mean, the space plane is massive. Oh, it's going to be real awkward, isn't it? Kerberdyne. Coupling. What's the largest possible coupling? It's the radial, isn't it? Mount that here. This camera is being very awkward with me. It always is in the VAB. Hold down shift and move this here. Ah. Move this up. What's that there? Oh, I buried a thermoelectric generator inside its hull. Oh no. Silver, you're joking. Sorry, is that the football game? It's not against Argentina, is it? Is it? No. Oh no. Oh, the Falkland. Oh, they're going to make a huge deal of it, aren't they? Wait, Argentina got this far in the football game? Wait, England got this far in the football game? Well, kudos to both of them. Well done. Isn't it like the final? As you can probably tell, I don't give a flying fuck about football. Semi-final. Wait, so... Okay, 4? Right? No, 2? Wait, I don't even care. Okay. Why can't I can't like I can in the fucking... Hang on. I need to shimmy along, but it won't let me. Okay, we'll just go back down to the ground where it's easier. England versus Argentina, Spain versus France. Interesting. Oh no! So hang on. So technically, the ideal combination... Oh my god! Oh no! How fucked up is that? It could have been Spain versus Argentina and England versus France? That would have been amazing! Holy shit! Like historical rivals against each other on both sides. Ah, that's a shame. The wrong sides are up against each other. Oh well. Okay, anyway, so I'm getting horribly distracted. For some reason I can't shimmy sideways and I don't know why. It's making it really hard to build this. Okay, hang on. So stick that there. No, it's not on. Now it is. Okay. So what can this do? So this is my Kerberdyne. This is a gigantic engine. I mean, are we really going to use this for a fucking interplanetary? Engines. Okay, well it has to be engine plates and vectors. Engine plate. Give me an engine plate, please. What's the... Yeah, no, too big. Give me a smaller engine plate, please. Give me 3 triple vacuum engines vectors. Right, 3 of them, if you please, on symmetry mode. Stop it. There we go. Right, so what is that? In vacuum, 2,278 delta V. Okay. So 2,000, so joule. Okay, it's loads. That is loads. Okay. So thruster weight won't matter much in the back. Well, what is it anyway? 2.24. Okay. What about an aerodynamic nose cone? Right. Yeah. Is there a big enough aerodynamic nose cone? Should be. There we go. Right, so big ass rocket. 2,000. Hang on. 2,000. What did it say there? 2,268. Minus joules transfer. Minus escape. 368. Okay. Hang on. Sure. Okay. So now 3,500 divided by 2. Next stage needs to be 1,750 in high Kerbin Atmo. Okay. So, oh yeah, hang on, before we do that. These engines need to... Where's the center of mass? Move that there. Center of mass when full is there. Okay? That's the center of thrust. That's my center of lift. Yeah. So... Well, no, don't worry about this right now, because this is going to kick in later when there's no atmosphere. So no, don't panic about that. Ignore that. So instead, put down a big decoupler. Here. Nope, smaller. Oh, sorry, wait. Shrink the engine plate. Make it a medium shroud? Not a decoupler. No, yeah, decoupler. Explosive bolts are on both sides. There we go. Right. So, the vectors will do the steering, but all the same, can I get a... do I even have a reaction? No, the reaction wheel will never handle it. It's going to have to be the... yeah, so the rocket is going to have to steer itself with the vectors alone. Okay. Is it a chode booster? Apparently so, yes. Okay, lift it up. Right. So now I need 1,750 in high Kerbin altitude. So let's say 50 kilometers up. So let's give it another Kerberdyne. Or just do similar. So Kerberdyne. Another big Kerberdyne. And maybe 2 bigger Kerberdyne. Yeah, another Kerberdyne. There. Shit. See that arrow? That means the explosive bolts only go one way. I need them to go both ways, please. So I am actually looking for a stack separator. My mistake? There we go. Right. So stick that there. Okay. That's going to look very goofy. Let's go by wings, sort by size. It's going to look real fucking goofy. Right. Center of lift. Can we get that as close to the middle as possible? Yeah, so Mr. Awesome, I know that. I do know that. But weirdly, I've never been able to figure it out. As in, you know, engine plates decoupling. I mean, it's on me. So I should really stop and test them sometime. But it's like, wait, in my brain, I can't... Like, which part of the engine plate disconnects? So I always put a decoupler just in case I fuck it up. Yes, probably Bruce Norris. Yeah, yeah. No doubt. Okay, give me another engine plate then, please. Right. So hang on, the centre of mass is there. Obviously, all of this will remain full for the launch. So it's this tank that we need to shimmy, because this is the one that's going to be... So we'll be burning in atmosphere. Right. Oh, wait, no. What am I thinking? Sorry, move that there. We do need to consider its centre of mass, don't we? So what did it say? Sorry, what did my notes actually... Sorry, I'm getting my wires crossed. I'm thinking that I only need to care about the centre of mass and centre of thrust in atmosphere, but I don't. We will still need to do a burn to switch over to Joule, and it still needs to be in line. So what does it say? Sorry. So it says, then you attach a tank, check the centre of mass location both full and empty, and point the main engine so it's aimed at the centre of that line. Full and empty, the centre of that line. What does that mean? Does it mean literally rotate the engine plate? Surely not. Does it? No. No. Oh, God. So what happens... Okay, so that's full with fuel. This starts draining. The centre of mass starts going that way. Okay. Oh, God, how are you... Thank you, Turtle-E. Thank you very much there, Turtle-E. Oh, wait. Hang on. Does it consider these engines to be enabled for the sake of the staging? Where are these? Down there. Move those all the way up here. They're not to be switched on, ever. Including these ones, ever. Shit. So is that the center of... That's exactly what it means, says Okinos. Yeah, but surely... It's going to look weird. No, it's going to look weird. Okay. Alright, well, we'll just give it a test then, I guess. Hang on. Remove this vector. Don't have symmetry mode. Put them on individual mode only, please. No symmetry, no nothing, no snapping. Put them here, one by one. Can I turn them? Hang on. There we go. Can they now be turned individually to face the center of mass? What the fuck? Alright. Okay. That's fucking weird. Okay. What have we done? Right. Oh, the other way? The other way? Wrong direction. You sure? You sure? Oh, I sort of see what you're getting at. Now it's in line, so pretend that purple line goes all the way up. That's the center of thrust. Drawing a straight line through the center of mass. Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. Interesting. Fucking weird, but interesting. Okay, so stick that there. Center of lift. Put that direct in line with the center of mass. Don't know if that helps, so I guess we're going to find out. Alright. Engine plate. Okay, so I need... engine plate. Another one, please. For those joining the stream who have no idea what the fuck is going on, I'm attempting to launch a space plane. It's an upgrade for the one that's on Joule, so Laythe, which is one of the moons of Joule, the Jupiter. Anyway, so it's a big-ass space plane full of fuel and won't have pilots in it. It's just like a free delivery for them. The trouble is, getting it into orbit, you can just fly it with enough fuel, but I'm going to strap it to a big rocket. Big, expensive rocket. All right. So, engines, vectors, Same deal, please. 3. Right. Why not send 2 into orbit at once? Could do. You can always break it up a bit. Right. And same deal, maybe? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Right. Birdie says, nails done, back to CS. Enjoy CS, Birdie. Have a lovely time. Okay, so I needed 1,270 delta V at Kerbin altitude 50 kilometers. No, I've only got 1,144. Not great. I'll have to do. Okay, then the final part, which is the other 2,500 delta V. This time it's sea level Kerbin, so oof. Let's give it a whirly. So, another decoupler again, because don't really know what I'm doing with these. Stack separator. Engine plate, please do it a medium short. Thank you. Right, big rocket, please. Big rocket. Also, forgive me, folks, I'm trying, but I'm so tired. For those who are just joining, I've been doing gardening, but I suppose, like, the Americans, I guess, would call it yard work. I've been swinging a pickaxe and moving a paintbrush, and my back is killing me, and I'm desperate for my bed. But stuff's got to get done. For those not familiar, I moved into a bungalow, thanks to your kindness, so thank you for it. But the bungalow's got things that need fixing. Decking that needs oil, walls that need painting, things that need pickaxing. Yeah. A bungalow, for those not familiar, is just a house with like one ground floor and then a roof. Typically associated with elderly people, owing to the fact that there are no stairs to complicate mobility. They're fairly common in the UK. Thank you kindly, Lico. Yeah, but it's only through everyone's generosity that it's been the case, so I really appreciate it, folks. No basement? No, not really. Basements are not that common in the UK. They're not unknown, certainly, but residentially speaking, they're not that common. Okay, put 5 vectors. Right. Yeah, depends where you are. So here's the trouble. So in the UK, it may... Well, I suppose this is true of all countries, but if you look at the UK on a map, our buildings are heavily dependent on local resources and local conditions. As you get further north, and especially as you get between east to west, the houses are made out of completely different types of stone. We're all using locally available resources and adapting to local conditions with the terrain. So like northern cities are going to look very different to the ones around, say, the South Downs. Thank you, ProTag. Not playing Kerbal Space Program 2? Nobody is playing Kerbal Space Program 2, Settles. But yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure some places basements are fairly common. At least certainly in the south of England, they're not that common. Probably put it back in symmetry. No. Well, it's going to be interesting, this launch. Probably highly explosive. Right. Lovely. Guess we're going to see how this goes. So where's the stage? There it is. So, right. So almost 2,000. So I need to make up the remaining, well, 500-ish via boosters. Right. No, that's not right, is it? Where's the center of mass? There. Maybe this one, because the center of mass is now higher. Maybe this one needs to be straighter. Fuck. It's going to be a really awkward flight. It's probably going to flip really easily. It's going to take some tweaking, I think. Right. Right, so that's its center of mass, center of thrust. Where's its center of lift? It's there. That's not in line at all. So it's going to flip horrendously. So give me the largest possible... There we go. Give me these. Give me symmetry. Not symmetry. Give me... There we go. So bring that in line, please. With the center of mass. Right. Sort of in line? Let's try that. It's interesting though, isn't it? Then again, center of thrust, right? Center of mass, that's all in line. It's going to fly a bit lopsided. Should that also be in line with it? Like, no. I don't know. Let's launch and find out. Right. The center of lift needs to be further back. Do you reckon? Oh, wait. And also, sorry, if I'm following the spaceplane logic, it also needs to be further down, right? Next to the center of mass. And what happens if I detach this stage? Center of mass shifts up here. You know my logic? I'll stick the boosters on it. Not so sure. Okay. Let's stick the boosters on it and see how it flies. Big boosters, please. Very big. Right. Put 2 big ass fucking whatever they're called. Engines. Give me the biggest suckers. Clydesdale? Are they the largest? Move them further down. Right. Symmetry mode, please. Give me 2. I don't honestly know how this is going to go. I guess we're going to find out. What am I looking for? Aerodynamics. There we go. So yeah, so I'm not working on a bullshittery yet. I will soon. I'm just taking some time off for me. Swanky says, gardening is exhausting. I feel you with the pickaxe. Thankfully, you get the passive buff due to your West Virginia blood while swinging it. Hi there, Swanky. Yeah, I don't have that. I'm from Hove, actually, so what's in my blood? What is in my... I don't know. Snootiness, I guess. Oh, damn. Birdie's still in the chat. Inbred, is that... Yeah. Probably, to be honest. Probably. So, yes. Beer, baked beans, yes. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Hang on. Let's go there. Put some Separatron boosters to kick them away when I'm done with them. Alright. Blackie says, never knew I was from Hove. That's mad. Looking west, you're next to the... You're by the next pier. You mean the West Pier? Looking west, you're... Wait, what do you mean, the next pier? Blackie. The West Pier or the Palace Pier? As in you're in Brighton, because both of those are in Brighton. Well, hi there, Blackie. Not West Pier, another one along. Blakey. The next one along? I must be done then. The next one along? I don't know what you mean, sorry. Oh, it's in Worthing. Oh, you're in Worthing. Gotcha. Oh, sorry, your name is Blakey. Gotcha. Hi there, Blakey. Yeah, so how it works, folks, is that, so if you imagine the south coast of England, and you've got, so picture the south coast of England, that you know the Isle of Wight and stuff like that, if you just picture it in your head, there's a sort of smooth, bendy bit to the right of that. That's Sussex. A sort of rolling like, sort of countryside, not countryside anymore, but urbanized hill system consisting of hipsters and students. And so what happens is, so if you imagine it from right to left, you've got Brighton with its universities and its trendy back streets and its bars and its coffee shops, and that's where all the young people hang out and have sex and stuff. So that's Brighton. Then you move, so what happens is, as life goes on and you sort of grow up and you start making some money, you end up in Hove, actually, full of the gentry and the posh and the polite and the belle delphines, and you're generally sort of in the upper crust of the society. And then what happens is, as you start moving further to the left, you end up in Worthing, which is basically like an elephant graveyard, where you're getting old and you just sort of like sputter along until eventually, I'm pretty sure you just fall into a pit in Stenning, and they just sort of cover you up with some weeds or something, or some grass, and then that's it. And then it's like a conveyor belt, you see. That's how it works in Sussex. So Blakey's in Worthing. Yes, either that or I think you fall into the River Ouse and get swept away. Is it? Sorry, no, the Ada. The Ouse is on the other side. Wait. My rivers, I'm getting confused. I'm too tired. Hang on. I've got to try and fucking launch this plane. Right, okay. Structural. Okay. Yes, the circle of life. Alright. So let's lower it down here. Alright. Robotics. Alright. So let's have a look. So start with the staging. So no, not the Separatrons. These. Oh my god, are they individual? I don't have the energy. Okay, because they're not in symmetry mode, so they're all individual engines. Okay, right, so scaffolding. We gotta launch it. I can't not make it and then fucking go to bed and not launch it. Hang on. Right, there. There. Okay. Yeah, sleep in a minute. Sleep very soon. I'm flagging. Okay, here we go. Right, so that's the launch. Yes. Yes. Right, okay, then we go up. Then the boosters are going to separate. That's the next stage, which is here. Right, so move that stage down here. That's now stage 12. So the boosters, hang on, where are these Separatrons? They're up here. Put these in stage 12. Right. Okay. Then, when that's done, the boosters are separated. This here, which is stage 9, which is the new stage 10. What's behind there? Oh no, do I have to... Oh no. Oh, they're all individual, but they're hidden by the fucking... Can I... Remove the shroud. Yes? No? Engine plate. Shroud. Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay, I can see them. We're fine. Okay, so remove that. That's 10. Okay, you're in 10. You're in 10. 9 even. Okay. Right. Close the shroud. Right. Then finally, for the orbital, here. Move here. Move the shroud so we can see what we're doing. Right, what are you? Shit. Okay, you're 7. Right, so you're all part of 7. Yeah. Okay, are we going to Eve? No, we're launching a space plane to Laythe in orbit of Joule. Okay, I think that's it. I think. Fuck it, let's just launch it and see what happens. I'm curious. Here we go. So it's going to cost me 463,000. It's a very expensive launch. Save it. Check that our engineer... Yeah, Matt Balls is still here. Right, here we go. So to launch we go. Thank you, Cardboard, and thank you, Fat Pingu, and thank you, Wolf Legion and Pro Tag. Thank you, folks. Alright. Here we go. Oh my god, it's a lot of wiggle. We need more struts on this. But fuck it. Fuck it. Let's go. Okay, initiate launch. Oh, that's a really, really sluggish launch. Oh my god. Oh my god, not all of my engines are on. One of my vector engines is off. There we go, now it's on. We're wiggling all over this shop. Alright. This is stupid. Give me a spin. Can we give me a spin for the stability? Probably won't be very stable on this thing. No, it's probably a stupid idea. Alright. Oh my god. Right, keep climbing. Oh my god. It's kind of awkward. Will they get more or less stable in a minute? Get ready to jettison the boosters. There we go. Get ready to jettison the boosters. Now. Okay, we're climbing. Feels a bit more stable. Yes, it does. Okay, so what's my app? 33 kilometers. We should have begun a gravity turn a while ago. Right, start turning. Let's go, keep going. Keep burning, keep burning. The air's getting thinner. I've got more control now. Right, keep burning. Let's go. Right. That was bloody awkward. Let's go. Keep turning, keep turning. Get ready to jettison this engine for the next one. Let's go. Not bad. What's my goal? Space plane. Laythe. Delivery. Keep going. Let's go, let's go. We dialed down the amount of gimbaling here. Get ready to jettison the next batch. Right. A bit more altitude, but not quite there yet. Right. Stand by. There we go. And next stage is now. Whoops, something blew up. Oh shit. What blew up? Don't know what blew up, but something blew up. And we are tumbling like crazy. We're still in the atmosphere. Yikes. We've got all the engines. Right. So what's wrong here? It's my center of lift, isn't it? My center of lift is off, causing me to tumble like crazy, even though the atmosphere is so thin. Give me actual engines. We're not gone. Not full power. Give me a little bit. Come on, get control. Get control. No. Is it that they're pointed the wrong way? I don't know. Pretty sure you only need the engines to be angled for the low altitude flight. Do you reckon? That's true. Is that what's thrown it off? Is the fact that the calculations assume that the spaceplane engines will be firing? But they're never going to compete with anything that the... you know, I've got an idea. We could... you know what we could do? We could strap the a couple of vectors here and have them break off. Fire from the spaceplane as we go. Not bad though. I mean, could have been way worse, frankly, on the ascent. Right, now we're fucked. Alright. Hi there, window creep. Window crep. Welcome indeed. Yes, it went a bit wrong. But I suppose we can test the next stage, which is obviously the space plane. So decouple. Plane decoupled. Plane is getting smooshed. There we go. 44 kilometers and falling into the atmosphere. Disable the nerves. Nerves disabled. Activate the rapiers. Give me control and point prograde, please. Lots of atmospheric drag. It's going to screw things for a minute. There goes the rocket. We're slowing down and it's continuing on its merry course. We're 26 kilometers above the ocean, but we're moving way too fast. As the atmosphere is getting denser, there's a hell of a lot of drag going on. Give me a stability assist. Whoa, now we're going to tumble. Okay, initiate these air brakes. There we go. Air brakes deployed. Engines up. Here we go. Pick up speed. There we go. Obviously, the atmosphere is still, it's still quite. Tell you what we could do. Why don't we test? Why don't we actually test it? Hang on. So, give me full speed on these engines, 90 degrees. Atmosphere is still quite light up here, but it's air, right? Still air. All right, hang on. So let's move 90 degrees as a space plane. See what happens if we can pick up some thrust here. Still pointing downwards. Why does it feel like we're still very lopsided? So, like we're turning to the left, weirdly. Okay. Dial these down. Authority limit down to about 5 degrees. Deploy angle. 10 degrees? Is that by default? Fuel imbalance? Don't think so. Okay. Right, so what happens now? So will we pick up speed? There we go. So thrust is steadily climbing. Maybe the tail, is it? Dial it down a bit, 10 degrees. Okay. Right, so we're 5 kilometers above sea level. Didn't travel that far. Wait, did we? Yeah, well that's the space center, isn't it? We didn't get that far. Doesn't feel like we're picking up much speed. Okay, go a bit lower. Maybe we should be going higher. Must admit, I'm not sure I fully understand space planes yet. Lift the nose. Air intakes info. Flow is now dropping. Status nominal. Yeah, flow is dropping. Yes, what is that button? Click it. Yeah, there is a... You're right. What is that button? You know the aerodynamics overlay? I've seen it a few times before. Is that F8 or something? What was it again? F12. Yeah, what was it? Anyone remember? There are a bunch of these arrows that will show you drag. Is it F12? That's a screenshot, isn't it? Alt F4. F11. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. Nope, it's temperature overlay. F12, here we go. Oh, okay, it's screenshot and aerodynamic overlay. Okay. I must admit, I don't truly understand it. Looks fairly symmetrical. Ah. Okay. Well, we're just cruising along doing nothing. We're being overtaken in orbit by a Xenon hauling scaffold as part of an old Xenon engine test. Thrust is too little for the amount of drag. Yes. Your thruster weight is keeping me down. So bigger... I mean, is there something... Is there a bigger rapier? Like, I need a ramjet engine. Front left flap on the nose is generating way less lift than it appears. Is it? Yeah, I need to Google to find out what these spikes mean. In fact, maybe just look at it now. Hang on. 1 second. So, Kerbal Space Program, F12, overlay, meaning. What do these things mean? Okay. So, it says, just reading a Reddit post. So, it says, a deleted post from 6 years ago. It gives you a representation of how much lift, drag, thrust, and weight each part incurs during flight. It shows you how much by the length of the arrow and what kind of color. Most of the arrows tend to be inside of the parts instead of not existing. This is a good way to tell why your plane might be yawning left or right in this person's case, this poster's case. Okay, so representations of lift, drag, thrust, and weight. So are they arrows that are pointing? No, they don't look like it. So, which one's which? I mean, is blue lift? Oh, it's the arrow pointing up. So lift is pointing up. Red, thrust, right? Pointing this way. No, drag, pointing that way. No, thrust, sorry, pointing that way, yeah. Okay. So blue is lift. Yellow is lift. Yeah, good idea. Point the plane down. Ah, okay. So red is always thrust. So what's that? What's the blue? That's drag. Light blue's drag. Okay. So as we're travelling along, where's the drag? A little bit of drag on the Rapier engines. Not a huge amount. Weird. Light blue's lots and lots of drag. Maybe lard bucket, yeah. So maybe we just need more thrust? Yeah. How can the red be thrust? You have a big spike coming out the middle where no engine is. Oh yeah. That's a good point. What is that? What is this? Red must be drag. Okay, red is drag.
I see pulling me back. It's not very obvious, is it? Okay. It's cool though. Right. So let's have a look and see. Yeah, let's go back to the things. Revert flight back to the vehicle assembly. Okay. So is there a trouble is, I mean, these are I need a ramjet engine, don't I? So go to engines. That's the whole point. So the CR7 Rapier. Propellants, liquid fuel oxidizer, but in its other mode, propellants, air, and liquid fuel. So is there a bigger ramjet? What's this? A Panther afterburner turbofan. Stop it! Stop. Yeah, it looks the same size. That's a smaller one, isn't it? Storm says way too heavy of a load for these mini things, and jet engines require speed to even be effective. Which engine is the fourth one on the right? Yeah, what are these? Sort by size. Turbojet. Oh, hello. Are you bigger? What are you? The Whiplash Turbo Ramjet engine. Intake air. It has no dual mode, of course. That's the trouble. The dual mode is critical because the nerves aren't going to get us into fucking orbit, are they? The Ramjet. Hang on. Whiplash Turbo Ramjet. Leave this here. Sorry, save this as the Shuttlecock MK2. Let me just swing back to the. Give it a test. Hang on. Oh, that's a bit weird. Right, open. Shuttlecock. So just back to its thing. Right. So that is the Rapier, right? So fuel tank Rapier. What does it say? So engine in its air intake mode. In atmosphere 3,200 ASL. I don't know if that matters for a ramjet. Okay, engines. Whiplash. Symmetry mode, please. The Whiplash says what? In atmosphere 4,000. Okay. Silver says there should be a dual engine adapter in that size. Engine adapter. Do you know what it's called? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Schema. The trouble is, if I do that, again, how are we going to land safely? MK2. Structural tab. I'm not sure. Forgive me. I'm not sure entirely what your MK2 by coupler. MK2 by coupler. Oh, ooh! I see. I follow. I follow. I see what you're putting down. So I could get 2 rapiers potentially, 4 rapiers. Okay. Let me just park that for a second. I just want to see what it does.
Show me the Whiplash turbojet. Alright. I follow, I'm with you. Okay. So Shuttlecock MK3. Yeah, try that. Alright. I mean, the question is whether or not it has enough air. Yeah, that's the problem, Silver. So having the ability to switch between oxygen. Yeah, we need to. We're going to run out of air above a certain altitude in Laythe, so we can't just use air-breathing engines to get into orbit, and the nerves are weak as fuck. Then again, we did kind of get into orbit with the nerves, didn't we? Maybe the 50-kilometer... Let's just fucking launch. Maybe the 50-kilometer atmosphere is small enough for me to fling myself up there. Alright. Regardless, let's just hit the on button and see what happens. It is getting quite late, so I do need to fuck off to bed because I'm so tired. Whoops. Okay, here we go. Give it a... It doesn't look right. Here we go. Right, give it a launch. Engines, please. Where are they? Here we go. Engines. Ooh, they look cool. Ooh, they look very cool. Suddenly they look a lot less cool. Try that again. Revert flight back to the space plane hangar. Thank you, Overgamers. That's very kind of you, Overgamers. Thank you for doing that. Where's my center of mass? Right. Lovely. No, I want symmetry. But no, I hope everyone joining is okay. That still probably won't be enough, will it? Yeah, today, as mentioned, I've just been doing sort of maintenance tasks around this bungalow. Yeah, just swinging a pickaxe to get out some cement, oiling some timbers that needed some oil. What else do I need to do? I've got lots of stuff I need to do, frankly. I just need to sort of... I need to take multiple trips to the tip. I was going to build a compost heap out of wooden pallets, but unfortunately I did some background reading. It's not going to work. Apparently you need open soil. Oh, shit. Fuck that up. Ah! Went Scottish there for a minute there. No, I probably should, Night Elf, shouldn't I? Yes, I've been oiling my deck, yes. My deck is very oily. There we go. They look very cool. So now we have a lot more thrust. Lift up gently, because otherwise we're going to get a tail strike. Lift up. Oh my god, what the fuck? Holy shit, my center of lift is way off my center of mass. Parachutes, parachutes, parachutes! And now, without the landing legs... That looks expensive. Whoops. Less than ideal. Right, where is... Hang on. So my center of lift arrow, so this needs to be just behind the center of mass. So I need to maneuver the wings thusly. Ta-da! Covered up the drogues. Just there. Try that again. The Shoreham Air Show all over again. Yeah, that was grim, wasn't it? For those who are not familiar, here in Brighton and Hove, so over in Worthing, there's an airfield called Shoreham, and there was an air show there that was held there regularly. It's rather famous now for a very severe crash. It was so severe, essentially because a plane crashed. I mean, that happens at even air shows, sadly. But what was sad about it is that it crashed into the bypass that goes around, so that we all use all the time. The motorway, the bypass, the busy road. Crashing into a junction that I pass through a lot sometimes whenever I'm travelling to go fishing. And it took out like 12 cars and killed a load of people. It's got a Wikipedia page. Just look at the Shoreham air crash. Nice, we've got a lot more thrust. Alright. Let's give it a test. Oh shit, Matt pulls us along for the ride. Yeah, the pilot survived, he parachuted out. Was badly injured, but he made it. I don't know, it's a bit dark, but I'm not so sure I could live with the guilt personally. Thank you, King Wonton. Thank you, Overgamers and Tom Sawyer. Just getting a bit of altitude. Pilot error. The pilot performed a, I believe it was a pilot error. The pilot performed a maneuver that, was it a loop-the-loop? It was some sort of maneuver way too close to the ground. I think he was also not overly familiar with that particular style of aircraft, which I believe is also notoriously difficult, I think. It was a type of military aircraft that was notorious for being quite tricky to handle. Okay, here we go. So, now let's keep moving 90 degrees, and with the ramjets, with all this airflow into the main intake here and here. So yeah, look at this. Our thrust is climbing up massively past 300. Get that, yeah. Turn it all into upwards motion. Let's go. Keep climbing, keep climbing. The Hawker Hurricane, apparently. Go. We're now moving at almost 900 meters per second and climbing. Now over 1,000. Keep climbing. No, Reaver? Okay. 1,000, almost 1,200, but we're losing speed now. So maybe coast along for a bit. Still losing speed. It's because the engines are getting, yep, they're losing thrust. We need to get a bit lower, where there's air. Come down a bit lower. Atmosphere is getting denser. Okay. Thrust is increasing. Okay, let's start going along now. Okay, hopefully we'll pick up some speed. No, not really. Nope, there we go. Speed is increasing. Yeah, it might have to be 4 rapiers, to be honest, rather than 4 whiplashes. Okay. Enjoying yourself, Mapples? So, the problem I've got now, obviously, is that I need an engine to bridge the gap. It's all well and good picking up speed down at 13, 14 kilometers. But I need... So what we would do now is we would point our way up, you see, gently. And start climbing. See, the upper apse is 17 kilometers. I mean, this is if we're on Laythe. But I need some sort of engine to bridge the gap, and we don't have it, apart from the nerves. So 21 kilometers, keep climbing. I'll probably just switch on the nerves. I'm not going to do anything, but... Go. He's up. Going, keep going. Okay, so 28 kilometers. Remember, out of the atmosphere on Kerbin is 70. Okay, there we go. We've got no more air. So this altitude, 27 kilometers. All we got the nerves. And those are really weak engines. They'll never make it. I mean, maybe on Laythe they might. Maybe. But certainly not on Kerbin. We need something meatier. Well, that's fine. That's not what we're doing. We're not building a space plane for Kerbin. Okay. So I think 4 rapiers. We should try 4 rapiers. Yeah. Okay. Right. If you'll forgive me, folks, I'll leave it there for this evening. I'm knackered. Sorry for the low energy stream. I've been swinging a pickaxe and painting decking and oiling decking. And I need to crash into bed, so I imagine I'm going to be asleep a few seconds after my head hits the pillow. But thank you for your kindness, everyone. Thank you, Overgamer. Thank you, Tom Sawyer. I'm taking a few days off, having finished the last bullshittery. I'll start the next one soon. I'll put some polls up soon for you concerning what the bullshittery will be, and I'll let you guys vote. So, pardon me. Do let me know what you would like. Take care, Blakey. Have a good one. Yeah, right. Hang on. Dog. Oh, sorry, there's one last thing. In front of me, I have a piece of paper that I just want to quickly read to you. This piece of paper, hang on, is a notification from SEGS, you see. Here in the United Kingdom, one can apply for SEGS, which I've done, obviously. So your SEG plan, the piece of paper reads. To explain, so, hooray, the letter says. Strange opening. Your Smart Export Guarantee, or SEGS application, is all done and dusted. So in other words, it's exporting energy to the national grid, and you get money back, you see. Not a huge amount of money, just pennies. But the point is, the way that it's written, hooray, your Smart Export Guarantee, SEGS, is all done and dusted. Done and dusted? You'll find all the details of your SEG plan just below. Welcome to the family. What fucking Zoomer shit is this? Is this also? I expected a smiley face. Anyway, then it says, we've attached a PDF pack for you to read and hold some important next steps for you. Key terms and conditions and complaints information. It's a piece of paper. This was the only piece of paper in the envelope. What do you mean PDF pack? What? I don't understand. Does PDF mean something else? Was this meant to be an email that they printed out and sent me? I don't know. Yes, click on it. It's weird. Anyway, so yes, I don't know what to do with this information. No idea what to do with this information. Anyway, so yeah, cheers for watching, folks. My voice is going as well. I'll leave it there. Hang on. Time to flop directly into bed. I'll leave you in the company of... Hang on. Ah, that's good. I'll leave you in the company of ZF Quebec, who's doing some Silent Hunter 3. If you're not familiar with Silent Hunter 3, it is a sub-sim. He is currently lining up a torpedo to fire on a ship, so I'll host him up quickly. See if he succeeds. Here we go. Thank you, all of you. See you soon.
Firing point procedures on the bearing of the small